2,000. The number of days of school that I've had since entering as a kindergartner over 12 years ago. 30. The approximate number of days that I have chosen to wear sweatpants to school over the last 12 years. That comes out to be exactly 1.5% of all days of school that I have chosen to wear the most comfortable pants available to me. Let's talk about it. Alright, so as I was editing this video, I decided that putting the same intro song is boring, so I'm just going to sing every single song every single time. Today's song is going to be Mia by Bad Bunny and Drake. Dile que tú eres mía, mía, tú sabes que eres mía, mía, tú misma lo decías, cuando yo te lo hacía. Alright, let's get back into the video. Unlike me, I'm going to assume that many of you have worn sweatpants to school over the last however many years you've gone to school. However, I didn't actually stop to reflect on this until maybe 2 days ago. I woke up just like any other normal day, 4th day of my senior year, and walked out the door ready to go to school. However, when I took one step outside, I realized that it was freezing cold out. Of course, it wasn't actually freezing, it was only 50 degrees, but after a summer of 95-degree days, 50 degrees does feel kind of cold. So I rushed back inside, trying to find a pair of pants that worked. None of the jeans matched my shirt, none of my khakis matched my shirt, so I decided to go for my sweatpants. I found a pair of gray ones that worked fine with it and threw them on, and walked out the door. But when I arrived at school and stepped out of my car, I realized that the old me would have never been caught dead wearing sweatpants to school. So I really wanted to take a whole video, to reflect on why I never wore sweatpants to school, what caused it, and how I've changed since then and how I hope to change in the future. If you're still here, let's get into it. I don't really have that much to say in relation to sweatpants in elementary school because I can't remember anything that I wore in elementary school, honestly. Also, I didn't get myself dressed for most of elementary school. I'd have to ask my mom, but I'm pretty sure that I didn't dress myself until maybe like 4th grade onwards. Either way, sweatpants weren't something that I chose to wear back then because I think I was raised on the notion that sweatpants are more unprofessional and should be worn at home for on the weekends or after school or for going to sleep if you'd prefer those over pajama pants. And it's not that they were bad, it's just something that I didn't do. I also, ironically, remember hating wearing nice clothes, so I always preferred to be in the middle, wearing jeans basically. It was only skinny jeans in at least middle school. It might have been elementary school too though, but I didn't have a negative view of sweatpants yet, and that didn't transition until middle school, which is where I really started realizing, or in my opinion at least, that sweatpants were an issue. Middle school is where the quote-unquote problem started. Sweatpants make you look unprofessional. You're not going to be able to focus and do all your schoolwork if you're wearing sweatpants. You're going to fall asleep if you're wearing sweatpants. That's the most ridiculous one. I can fall asleep in anything, and sweatpants don't really encourage that because the desks at school were always so uncomfortable that it was impossible to fall asleep. But either way, I just forced myself into a negative view of sweatpants. And I think it really came from a place of, I don't want to say fear, but social rejection probably. That if I'm looking unprofessional, then people aren't going to respect me or want to be friends with me. Which in middle school does not matter. In middle school, your outfits don't really determine anything, in my opinion, from what I've seen at least. It's more about who you are as a person. And that was just a false notion I put in my head. Some of the most popular kids did wear sweatpants most of the time, honestly. So that wasn't stopping it. It was other things. But I liked to put the blame, I guess you could say, on sweatpants and developed a hatred towards them. So basically every single day of middle school, I'd either turn up in a pair of shorts if it was hot out or a pair of skinny jeans. I think that's all I wore during middle school, skinny jeans. If I found any picture from back then, it'd be in a pair of either ripped jeans, which were popular at the time, or just straight up light blue skinny jeans. A couple pairs that I kept wearing into high school and freshman year because I was like, I need to accentuate my thin figure. As it already was, I was very thin, but sweatpants were baggier and I wouldn't be able to show that off if I was wearing them, which is kind of ironic to think about now, but that's just how it was for me. I really hated sweatpants. I would never have been caught dead wearing sweatpants in that era. And it took until maybe last year that I actually wore sweatpants a couple times a week. So let's talk about high school now. Freshman year is the first time that I can actually remember wearing a specific pair of sweatpants to school. I remember the day that I put them on. They were a pair of black Adidas trainers. They were just thin sweatpants, and they had 3 red stripes running down both sides. And I actually wore them for 2 reasons. One, because they were thin, which made my legs look thin, so they were skinny sweatpants. And 2, because I could create an entire outfit around them, which I really figured was important. So I had a pair of red shoes and a red Manchester United shirt and a red South hoodie that I wore all together with it, and I was like, oh, I look amazing in this. I didn't, but that's what I thought I looked like, and at that time it worked for me. But they were the only pair of sweatpants that I could accept wearing at that time, and I'd wear them maybe once every 2 weeks in the winter. And I remember the first day I walked in with them, and nobody made any comments on them, which I find funny, because I was like, oh god, are people gonna say that these look dumb, or are they gonna say that they look good? Nobody cared, which is something that I came to realize as I grew up in high school, that people generally don't care what you're wearing. Like, if you wear all black and a hoodie, except people enforcing the dress code, that's another conversation, but nobody really cares that much. Unless you are clearly trying to get attention from your outfit, people just aren't going to care, and I'm not sure if that's what I wanted. I think that I did want validation at the time for wearing sweatpants, and I also think it's a good thing that I didn't get it, because it taught me a lesson about it. Sophomore year was online school because of COVID, and despite that, I went backwards on my view of sweatpants and didn't ever wear any sweatpants to online class. I think this really showed that I was not over the notion that sweatpants make you less productive or feel unprofessional, because, my desk was in my room, so I was 2 steps away from my bed, but I could fall asleep in jeans. I've passed out in jeans multiple times before, so it wasn't really stopping that, but I wasn't ready yet to actually wear sweatpants, even though literally nobody could see what I was wearing under my shirt, or below my shirt, sorry, which, that's what I think is the most ridiculous of all the eras of my views on sweatpants. I think that's the most ridiculous, that I wasn't comfortable wearing sweatpants in my own home, in my own room, when nobody could see them. Like, I know people that wore boxers and suit tops, and they were fine, but I just hadn't gotten myself to that point of confidence yet, which is a shame, but I am there now. If we had online school again, I'd be wearing pajamas every single day to class. Last year, my junior year, was probably the first time that I wore anything other than sweatpants and or skinny jeans to school, as I got 2 pairs of cargo pants halfway through the year and absolutely love those. I still have them. They're my favorite pairs of pants because they're so versatile. But I did wear sweatpants a couple times, and they were fine, as I should have expected. Nobody said anything because nobody cares, but I stopped wearing skinny jeans every single day, which was a nice change, because I actually wasn't ever that comfortable in them. I was like, oh, I just need to look skinny, and it's fine, because my cargo pants are more comfortable, and I can make nice outfits with them, and I'm happier wearing them anyways. But I did wear sweatpants a couple times. I stopped wearing skinny jeans every day, and last year was really, I think, a big turning point in my life for wearing things that I find comfortable but also can look nice in, and I'm still getting better at it, because clearly I'm planning on wearing sweatpants a couple more times to school this year so that I can be more comfortable every day, but also because I don't feel that I need to put a overly conscious effort into whatever I wear every single day. I think it's, especially with college coming up, I know for a fact that people most days will not care what they wear to an 8 a.m. class in college, so I'm glad that I've reached this stage of maturity in what I wear every day at this point in my life, because I think it's the perfect time to do so. I've decided that this video will have an Averys Advice section, and it's going to be a quote from this sign that I always thought was the stupidest thing I had ever seen at the old school. I'm not sure if this is the sign exactly, but it's something along the lines of it. So the quote is, 30 years from now, it won't matter... Oh, I hate loud cars. Sorry. 30 years from now, it won't matter what shoes you wore, how your hair looked, or the jeans you bought. What will matter is what you learned and how you used it. And I still think the sign is corny, but it does hold some truth now that I've looked back on it. Because in 30 years, I won't remember what I wore, but I will remember what I learned, like all the lessons, not specifically each class. I can't remember what I learned this week in school, but in general, the lessons I learned from my time in high school, I will definitely remember. And I wish I could tell this to everybody, honestly. It doesn't matter what you wear. Honestly, what other people think about what you wear, because all that matters is you're comfortable, you're happy with what you're wearing, and you're working to become a better person overall. And when you're in school, that is most likely through learning, which is the point of going to school. So I hope this lesson or piece of advice really rings true with just at least one person who is at some point in their life where they aren't comfortable wearing some outfit. I actually had a pair of shoes that I wasn't comfortable wearing because I thought I'd look dumb in them until I wore them this week, and people like them and I like them, so I'm going to keep wearing them. So clearly I still have a lot more to do. Maybe you are all completely comfortable with what you're wearing, and this advice rings true for nobody, but if for anyone, it's for myself. Well, I think that's pretty much every single thought about sweatpants I've had in the last 17 plus years of my life, to be honest. But I do hope you all enjoyed, and I apologize for the long wait between the last video and this video. School started and I had a lot of other things come up, but I promise that I will have another video up on this channel within the next 2 weeks, probably actually 2 weeks from Sunday, which is the day I believe this video is getting uploaded. I will have a video up. I'm not sure what the topic will be, but I do hope to keep exploring topics like this that have a lot of value and personal meaning to me throughout my life, such as sweatpants, which I didn't realize had a lot of meaning to me until a couple days ago, but as you all found out, they clearly do, and I hope to explore more topics like that on this channel. Anyways, that is all I have for all of you today. I, of course, hope you enjoyed this video, and will keep coming back for more, which you can do through using the subscribe button. You can also like the video, and please feel free to share it with anyone who you think might enjoy it. Until then, I hope you all have a very good day, and I hope to see you all again very soon. Thank you.